Hello viewers, welcome you all on channel Live to Learn. Today we are going to discuss the poem Daffodils written by William Wordsworth, the hero of nature, who in a wonderful way how he described the poem, how he described the beauty of daffodils in a unique way. Hope you all will understand and let me know if there is any query. Hello viewers, I welcome you all in the class Live to Learn with the poem Daffodils. It is written by William Wordsworth. Earlier when it was written, it was named as I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud. But later the scholars thought that it seemed like a very sad name, so it was changed to Daffodils. William Wordsworth was born on 7th April 1770 in Cockermouth in United Kingdom. His father's name was John Wordsworth and his mother's name was Anne Wordsworth. His sister's name was Dorothy Wordsworth. He got this idea to write the poem Daffodils when he was passing by Ullswater Lake along with his sister Dorothy Wordsworth on 15th April 1802. He wrote this poem in about 1804 and got it published in 1807 with 3 stanzas. Earlier it was having only 3 stanzas, but now you are going to read 4 stanzas. It was republished by him in 1815. Now let's see the poem. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude, and then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. Now let's see the meaning. We will discuss the meanings line by line. I wandered lonely as a cloud. Wandered means moved aimlessly here and there. I was moving alone, lonely like a cloud. I wandered aimlessly like a cloud used to move in the sky that floats on high over vales and hills. The clouds you might have seen so many times, but there are so many clouds, but he is talking about one cloud who was roaming aimlessly, wandering all around. He was wandering all around like a cloud used to float in the sky. When all at once I saw a crowd, while on his walk he saw a crowd. Crowd means there were too many. A host of golden daffodils. They were golden colored daffodils. Beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. They were moving happily. They were dancing with extreme joy beside the lake, beneath the tree. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. They were very, very happy. They were dancing, and like stars, they were shining. Like stars shine in the Milky Way, they were also shining. They stretched in never-ending line along the margin of the bay. The daffodils were till far distance, till he can see the never-ending line along that water lake. There spread daffodils. 10,000 saw I at a glance. As he tried to see in one glance, in one quick look, he saw numberless. He is marking 10,000 means numberless. There were many. There were many daffodils that he could see, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. They were tossing, they were moving upwards, they were shaking their heads upward, and with great joy they were showing vitality and livelihood in their dance. The waves beside them danced. Beside them means they were along the line of the bay. They were on the shore of the bay. They were on the shore bank of the lake. And inside that lake, those water waves were dancing. But they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. They outdid them. The daffodils danced far better, much better. The sparkling waves could not dance as good as the daffodils did. They were very happy and they outshone the dance of waves. A poet could not but be gay. Gay means happiness. The poet there was no reason of being sad there. he could not being happy, he could not help being not happy over there. He was full of joy in such a jocund company, in a high spirit daffodils company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. That show, the scene of those daffodils, brought him happiness that he could not describe. For oft when on my coach I lie. Oft means it's an old word for often. Often he used to sit on the sofa and lie there in vacant or in pensive mood. When he used to lie on the sofa in his leisure time, in his free time, when he is very serious or in a sad mood, they flash upon that inward eye. Inward eye means inside his mind, which is the bliss of solitude. Whenever he lies in his vacant and pensive mood, whenever he is lying on the couch, on his sofa, in a pensive mood, the daffodils flash upon his inward eyes, means flash as a light, brighten his mind, and this is extreme happiness of the solitude, that loneliness, that in the loneliness also, in the pensive mood also, he becomes happy when this scene flashes into his mind, and then my heart with pleasure fills, and then his heart is filled with joy, with pleasure, and dance with the daffodils, and it seems that he also starts dancing along with the daffodils. So this was the meaning of the poem, and now let's see the poetic devices. I wander lonely as a cloud. As, remember always, wherever you see as or like, some comparison is there, and along with the comparison, as or like is used, it is simile. And one more thing I want to discuss over here. I wandered lonely as a cloud. Clouds cannot wander, they cannot wander like a man, but this act is known as personification. This is personification. It is this poetic device is called as personification, where the clouds are personalized, personified, that floats on high over and hills, over vales and hills, that floats on high over vales and hills, over V sound, vales, V sound, over V and vales V. This is alliteration. When the consonant sound is repeated in the same line twice or thrice, it is known as alliteration. When all at once I saw a crowd. Again, this is personification, because daffodils cannot be considered as crowd. it is crowd is of always of men and women. So he personifies daffodils as human being. So this is personification. A host of golden daffodils beside the lake, beneath the tree. Beside B sound and beneath B sound. These sounds repeat, so it is alliteration. Fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Now again, flutter and dance. Dance is usually done by human being, and here he is talking about daffodils. So he has personified daffodils with human beings, so it is personification. Now let's see the ending words of each line. The first line ends with cloud, second hills, third crowd, then daffodils, then trees and breeze. Here cloud rhymes with crowd, so these are A. We can mark A. Then hills and daffodils, we can mark them B. And trees and breeze, they rhyme separately, so we can mark them C. So the rhyming scheme is A, B, A, B, C, C. Same is the rhyming scheme in all the stanzas of the poem. In the second stanza, continuous as the stars that shine. Continuous, the daffodils are shining as the stars are shining. As is used, so it is simile. Where as or like is not used, that becomes metaphor. And twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line. So it is hyperbole. They stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance. This is also hyperbole. We can see 10,000 in one glance. One cannot count actually 10,000. It is used as a poetic device, hyperbole. Tossing their heads in sprightly dance. Again, he's talking about dancing of daffodils. So they are personified as human being. So this is personification over here. Again, the rhyming scheme: A B, A B, then C C. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. Now, sparkling and glee, happiness, human beings can be happy, and here he is talking about the daffodils and the waves as being happy. So this is personification, and G sound is repeated, sparkling and glee. So this is alliteration. Two poetic devices are there in the same line. A poet could not but he gay in such a jocund company. In such a jocund company, whose company it was? It was the company of daffodils, and he has called it jocund company, very happy company, as his friends, as human being. So here no as is used, no like is used, but comparison is there. So it is metaphor. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. Gazed and gazed. This is repetition. And now let's see the rhyming scheme. They, glee, gay, company, thought brought. Day and gay, glee and company, thought and brought. So the rhyming scheme again, A, B, A, B, C, C. For oft when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. Here in the line, they flash upon that inward eye. Inward eye. They flash upon that inward eye. So, inward eye is the comparison. He's talking about his mind. So, it is metaphor. Which is the bliss of solitude, and then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. Dances, daffodils. Here, D sound is repeated, so it is alliteration. Now let's see the rhyming scheme. It is again A, B, A, B, C, C. So now let's continue with the question answers. Where does the speaker find the daffodils? The speaker found the daffodils underneath some trees next to the lake. He was moving around the lake in the park, and there were trees, and beneath the trees he saw the daffodils. What, according to the speaker, do the daffodils appear to be doing? They were dancing in the breeze. According to the speaker, the daffodils appear to be fluttering, tossing their heads and dancing in the breeze. All these words are taken from the poem itself. What does the speaker compare the daffodils to? Speaker compares the daffodils to the stars of the Milky Way that shine and twinkle in the night sky. Briefly explain the feelings of the speaker on seeing the daffodils. The speaker felt a sense of happiness and joy when he looked at the daffodils. Later, he is feeling pensive and lonely at home. The memory of the daffodils gives him great pleasure. So, whenever he used to sit in a pensive mood, lonely, and in his free time, he used to feel the presence of daffodils in his mind. So this is all about the poem. If you want any other comparison about this, do make a comment in the comment box, and also share this video with your friends. Thank you very much.